That Steph Curry injury, obviously huge. But it is the Minnesota Timberwolves moving on to the conference finals for a second straight season for the first time in franchise history. Let's hear from Julius Randle.
Come on, bite, let real Bert go. Bert, sit down, man.
Okay,
y'all boys, get up out of here, man.
I'm out.
And just big picture for this series, what Julius was able to do. Just what stood out to you about that, and just kind of reflecting on the whole season of what he's kind of built to get to this point. Like what sticks out in your mind?
Just how he create for others, and his impact on the game. The way he controlled the tempo, the way he pushed the pace, the way he bring us along with him when he pushes the pace, and just even his defense. His defense has gone to another level. The way that he communicates with us, his attention to detail, everything, man. It's incredible. It's incredible to be his teammate. And he brings it every night, and he shows you that he wants to win. So I'm happy to have him next to me.
You were confident last season after the Western Conference Finals that you would be back here. I think you said we will be back. What fueled that, and what did you have to do over the course of the season to get here individually and collectively as a group?
A lot of ups and downs. Just had to stay with it. And what fueled it? I mean, we lost last year, so just, trying to take that into the summer. I didn't have too much personal workout time because I was with the USA team, but the time that I did have, I definitely had that in the back of my mind.
Rudy, you've come up big in these closeout games in the first two rounds. Just what was your mindset going into this, and how did you assert yourself tonight the way that you needed to?
For me, it was just about being present, try to enjoy the moment. I try to really focus on my preparation, and then once I'm on the floor, it's just about enjoying the moment, being present of both ends, try to set the tone for my team and for my teammates, and doing it with my energy, and then usually the game takes care of itself, but when you kind of in that moment and enjoying that moment, you're just yourself, and I try to be that every night.
This was an entirely different ride to the conference finals from last year. Is there more satisfaction or anything just with all of the ups and downs that you guys went through that you stayed together and you're where you were last year?
There's no satisfaction.
Yeah, if
we just got here. We haven't did anything yet, so no, he's not satisfied.
That's exactly how it feels. It feels good to get to that step, but his stomach is not full, not at all. It's just one step. In a way, last year it felt different because it was a game 7. We down I don't know how many at half, and we came back and won. So obviously the adrenaline was different, right? But this year it's kind of like we sat down early in the season. We said we're gonna get back right where we left last year, and then we want to achieve our goal. And now we are halfway there. So it's we know that it's not gonna get easier at all, and we focused on that.
And when you were talking about the Warriors earlier in the series, you talked about how they have a championship pedigree. What do you believe it says about your team, the way they were able to bounce back after game 1 and go on to win the series against a team with championship pedigree?
Says a lot. I told him today, the most together team and the most mature team is a team that wins around this time. It's not about who get 30 points, who get the most shots, who get all the blame for winning the game, and it's not about none of that. It's about coming together as a team. Can we defend at a high level, and can we limit the other team to one shot? It doesn't really matter about offense. As long as we get good shots, and it don't matter who shoot it. So we did that tonight.
And is there any lesson that you learned from the Dallas series that stuck with you that maybe you've applied throughout the regular season or throughout the playoffs thus far?
Nope. Just a loss.
How about Rudy? Was there anything you think when you look back to the last year's Western Conference Finals that was missing for the team, from your team, that maybe that you have more of going into this year's?
I think for us, it's our approach. More importantly, it's not about talent. It's not about us wanting to win or not, right? We want to win, but it's about staying, level-headed after a win like we had last year against Denver, Game 7. I felt like when you got the whole world praising you, and and all of a sudden you went from being an underdog to being the favorite. I think in a way we weren't mature enough to handle that yet, but we were much aware of it. And this year I feel like we're mature enough. I feel like we understand where we're at, and so in a way that's the lesson. In our preparation, in our approach, it's about us. It's not about who we face. It's about our mindset, and when our mindset and our work and our attention to details, our level of urgency is right, we know we can play with anyone.
Question for both of you. Obviously, there's been some history between you guys, the Timberwolves and Jimmy Butler and Draymond. How personal was this?
I don't have no history with those guys, so it wasn't personal. It was just trying to get a win.
I don't know about the Jimmy thing. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't have no history with nobody.
I have a lot of respect for those two guys. They're both highly competitive players, for me, it's just about I'm just focused on trying to win a championship. What happened, and there's nothing really personal. I think it's also a team game, so. They both accomplished great things, but now I feel like now it's for me personally, I'm just focused on writing my own story, and to each individual has their own journey and story, and I'm just trying to accomplish my dream, my goal, winning a championship. That's all I care about.
And going back to the Western Conference Finals, how different does it feel this year? How prepared do you feel? How much more prepared do you feel to try to get it done this time?
I can't really speak on how prepared I feel because I don't know. We haven't started playing yet, but hopefully I'm more prepared than I was last year.
And I think there was a story in an All-Star game that they asked you to throw a lob coming out, and you told the coach, I don't throw lobs. Yeah. You threw a lot of them today. Yeah. Just like, what are you seeing in that, and how much more comfortable are you in that?
How many you threw today?
I threw like 3-4 on today, right? Like Root comes up to me every time out, Sack, you got to read it, and I need that because it's there a lot. And I tell Jaden all the time, like when I'm driving, cut that corner because most of the time your man trying to play 2, and if you cut, he can't play 2. Now he got to make a decision. Do he want to give up an easy 2 points or a corner 3? So just reading the game, and then C. Hans bringing the clips to me every time out when I'm out of the games, and we watching it and I'm analyzing it. Just trying to break the game down for sure before I go back in, before I check back in.
Rudy, big game for Mike Conley tonight. I was thinking about in the bubble, I think it was, he had that final shot to go to the Western Conference Finals that rimmed out. Yeah. I guess for both of you guys, like to see him specifically get to this point, I know it means a lot to you, but I guess, Rudy, thinking back to that, and where you're at now, what does that make you think?
We've been through a lot with Mike, and I love him. I just want to, more than anything, I want to win for him,
right.
Because it's like, we've been. I just know how much he cares about winning. How
Mike
great,
play through anything, man.
How great of a guy he is, and I want to say I want to do it for Joe, but I don't care about Joe actually. but for
Mike Conley, man, he's the ultimate vet the best vet you can ask for, man. Plays through everything, never complains, always knows the right thing to say, always knows where to be. Yeah, and just great guy to look up to for sure.
And you guys didn't need it tonight, but there have been a couple key points. Lakers fourth quarter, game 4, Golden State game 3, where you guys were down and in tough spots, and you had some really tough shots. What has it kind of been like figuring out when to take those and just the confidence to drill them when you guys really got to have them?
Just trusting the work, man. Like, I know I trust myself. So anytime I tell them, like, you know, it's time for that. So they already know. They know what it is. Like, when I get in that mode, just give me the ball and try to get me open. I tell them all the time, like, you set a good screen, we're going to score. I promise you. So,
Rudy, what is it like as a team, maybe when the chips are stacked against you guys, to almost have kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card sometimes with some of the shots he can make?
I mean, you know, it's kind of like finding that balance for me. It's like I think now it's compared to last year and the previous years,